All right, I'm about to show you what homeownership really looks like after you buy your home. It's really just a graveyard of unfinished dreams. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's what I mean. This chicken coop here has been unpainted for about 8 months now. And honestly, we'll see if it ever gets done. But at least these guys have a place to sleep at night. And here's another little project, another unfinished dream. No gutters on the back of my house. I've got some on the front, but none on the back. The gutters are sitting over there in the shed, and they've been in there for a couple of years. The next unfinished project is this shed. I've got to replace this siding, or at least repaint this siding, but I'm gonna end up needing to replace it because some of the stuff down there needs to be fixed. And the problem is, rather than doing that, I'm starting new projects instead. So instead of finishing those two projects, I started a new project in my garden of getting elderberry bushes. But you're probably wondering why you need 8 elderberry bushes, and the reality is nobody needs that many. But I got this many in case some of them died. And this one right here is the only one that's looking healthy enough like it's gonna survive, so we'll see in a couple weeks whether or not it actually does. But at least I've got some raspberry plants growing back here, and there are some strawberries over here, but the grass is kind of coming through the fence, so we won't look at those right now. So that's really the reality of homeownership. You're gonna have a lot of projects that you start, but then maybe don't finish. And I know I'm not the only one that has this problem. And I sell houses for a living, so of course, I always advocate for people buying a house rather than renting. And the reason I do that is because the problems you have with owning a house are much better problems to deal with than renting. As a renter, you have to wait for the landlord to allow you to do anything to the property. You don't get to build your own wealth in that asset as you pay down that loan. You're really just building someone else's wealth. So as a homeowner, even though there are a lot of projects that are yet unfinished and a lot more projects that I'm gonna be starting this year, I would still much rather have these problems than the problems of renting and making somebody else rich rather than owning a home that's gonna build towards my long-term net worth.